Tracey Edwards. She's the Young Members Organiser for the Public and Commercial Services Union, and the relevance is that we're stood outside the Department of Energy and Climate Change, who are represented by the PCS, and to show solidarity with workers across the country. You know, we want to ensure that the unity between the Green movement and the trade union movement continues to develop. So I'll introduce Tracey.
Comrades, brothers and sisters, solidarity greetings from the PCS, in particular from the PCS Young Members Network. And I think one of the things that is quite clear to see for all of us just now is that capitalism does not have a solution to climate change. And even 90% of the climate scientists agree with this, and they agree that we can't reach the emission targets that we need under the current system. And according to the Imperial College in London, the additional spending that's needed to build new flood defences, transport water for agriculture, treat an increase in the range and severity of diseases, replace buildings and other infrastructure affected by rising temperatures or water levels could easily reach £200 billion a year or more. Now that's not so high in comparison to the trillions of pounds spent bailing out the banks and the international finance system. But of course, the cost is going to be ordinary people who are expected to pay for this through tax rises, benefit cuts, public spending cuts and rising unemployment. Now, as some of our speakers have outlined before, the demand for nationalisation with proper investment in green energy has never been clearer. And if it's good enough for the banks, it's good enough for Vestas. Now, Ed Miliband at the TUC this week, how dare he, what a cheek, standing up there proclaiming that the government has done all it could to safeguard the jobs on the Isle of Wight to the Trade Union Congress, pandering to big business, claiming that the company weren't getting enough orders in. But also in the same speech, he's then announced new green jobs for the wind turbine factory in the northwest. Now, of course, we would support this, but we also demand the same for the Isle of Wight. The PCS will be engaged in their own battles as well, particularly over the office closures of the HMRC Revenue and Customs Office in the Isle of Wight. And we stand shoulder to shoulder with all these workers who are fighting against the effects of this recession and for progressive solutions to climate change. But in particular, and I'm here to represent young people. Now, for young people with unemployment reaching 1 million amongst 18 to 24-year-olds, and that's just the official figures, they don't tell you how many 16 to 17-year-olds are also on the dole. What sort of message is this government giving to our young people, and what is the effects going to be longer term? And are we going to have another lost generation who will never work and never be able to contribute to society? And particularly the kids in the Isle of Wight who are seeing firsthand the beast that is capitalism and the kind of future that awaits them. Where is the incentive for them to learn and educate themselves and aspire to anything? Now, within the PCS Young Members Network, we're stepping up our campaigns around jobs, pay and services. And we reject this argument that, you just have a nicer form of capitalism and, let's just keep our heads down and roll out the storm. We totally reject that. And also through the Youth Fight for Jobs campaign, we're helping to mobilise the mass movement of young workers that is urgently needed amongst young workers, students and unemployed, united in the call for real jobs and free education. And the demonstration is going to be taking place in London, on the streets of London on the 28th of November, will be an important turning point for this campaign, and we will see a louder voice emerging from our young people. And we also in the PCS see the need for rank and file trade union activism, particularly amongst young people, to unite with our brothers and sisters in other unions and challenge this. And this was shown in the Lindsay Oil Refinery dispute, where the anti-trade union legislation was swept aside when the movement is organised from below. The Vistian occupations, an inspiration for those Vestas workers, secured redundancy payments after the employer gave them an hour's notice to pack up, but through their struggle, they succeeded in winning. Now, the Vestas struggle, it's clear that the fight is far from over. I'll come here today as well, not just to offer solidarity, not just to speak, but I'll come here with a financial donation as well, because in the PCS today we collected over £111 for the Hardship Fund. Now, to finish, comrades, all trade unionists, campaigners, students, unemployed, we need to unite. We need to unite around clear demands. The immediate reinstatement of those 11 Vestas workers, the nationalisation of all the energy generating industries and for resources to tackle the urgent problems of climate change, put in our hands, not the profiteers, the tiny few at the top. Thank you very much.